So today we're going to get measurements on a door, and on this door you can see they kind of have a custom piece of brick mold. It's not the normal, so they either ripped it down or something unusual is going on behind here. So instead of just guessing at what size this door is, we're going to cut a little piece of brick mold off and remove it so that we can actually see what's going on in the wall, so we can get the exact size that we want to do. So I'm going to do that now.
So what is it you're doing right now, Jeremy?
So I'm scoring the paint line because we're going to put this piece back on and caulk it up, because it's going to take, several weeks to get this door. So I'm trying to make a little as mess as possible. So I'm cutting the paint lines. I'm going to take this brick mold off, and then we can actually see that frame and see what's going on in behind the wall.
Why is it important? I mean, can't you just guess at what's behind that wall, take a measurement and say, I'm close enough? Or, I mean, what's the reason for doing it this way instead of the way most people would do it?
This way's better because we can know for sure what size the door is. And one of the concerns is this isn't a regular piece of brick mold. If it was a regular piece of brick mold, then I could, be pretty sure that I'm getting the right size. But today I'd rather know for sure. So we'll remove it and know for sure. So there's no guessing. So it looks like they've even put this brick mold before the stucco went on, so they've stuccoed up to it. So that's why I'm going slow and trying to be really careful so I don't do any damage. There it comes.
Okay, so while Jeremy's doing that, I think it's worth pointing out that the reason this is so important to us is because on this house, like many houses where we're working, it's not new construction. This is a remodel project. They have 20-year-old doors made out of wood and they're rotting, and they want to replace all the doors and all the windows on this house, and we're going to use the Marvin product for this job. And on the inside, nothing needs work. I mean, it's a beautiful house. Everything inside's been beautifully done. And so, unlike the way some people do it, They just go get a door, they fit the door in there, and then on the inside now you have to retrim all the way around your door and your windows. Well, on this house, the trim's beautiful inside. It's like 5 stair steps worth of trim. It's just beautiful. The walls are all finished. We don't want to disturb the inside. So if we just take a stab at being close on the door, just being close, then it means that inside the trim may not match up. And if the trim doesn't match up, now you've got to redo the trim inside. So we don't want to have to redo the trim. We want to be able to match our new door to the existing trim. So it truly is a custom sized door. Custom sized doors are going to cost another 20%, but look at all the money you're going to save by not having to retrim them on the inside. You're not going to have a big mess in this home for a matter of weeks while people come in and out and redo the inside. So for us, it's kind of like, hey, let's do the right thing. Let's spend a few more minutes getting exact measurements of what's in this hole so that we can do it right the first time. All right, let's go see what Jeremy's doing.
So I'm going to cut a little bit more. They've grooved that brick mold to go in behind there, so I'm going to cut a little bit deeper.
What?
There we
Came
go.
right out? Wow, how far did that go back in there?
See, this is what they've done. It looks like they've cut the back of this brick mold on an angle. Normally this is 1.25 inches, or this part is 1.25 inches thick. So they've ripped the back on to have this kind of a look. But this is why we're doing it. See, this is your frame, the framing of the home. Here's the space between that's shimmed, and this is your actual door frame. When I measured here, and I said this should be 1.25 inches, but now we know for sure that we can actually measure it and see exactly what it is. And we can measure here to the other side and know exactly what our door frame is.
So you predicted it was 1.25 inches?
And it is 1.25 inches, like it should be, but now we know for sure, and we don't have to guess. We don't have to guess.
So are you telling me that actually we were right?
So we were right, but
Doesn't it feel great to be right again?
it feels right knowing it's right all the way until we do this project. We don't have to worry that we're off a little bit or it was, you know, a custom size or whatever. We know exactly what it is now, and I feel good about that.
Yeah, it's always fun as an installer to know that, you know, I'm not taking a guess. I actually know exactly what's going on, and doing it that way, I'm sure, can
Absolutely.
save a lot of headaches and a lot of heartaches, right?
Absolutely. The guys installing them for us, they'll be very happy now because we got the exact size that as it goes in, it's going to fit that interior trim just like it does now. So we'll have the same reveals. Everything will look great.
Hey, we got about 30 seconds left. What's your role at Houston Window Experts?
So I'm the project manager. I come out, I measure everything, get it all ordered. I meet the homeowners. I talk to them and make sure they're comfortable with the process. I explain to them how we do things, answer any questions that they have, and they feel comfortable because a lot of times they don't know if the salesperson knows everything. And being that I used to install for over 20 years before I got in this role, I can answer all their questions. I can set it up to where I can tell our guys exactly how I would like it installed. So I measure that way. I make notes, I take pictures, and I give that to our installers. So the day before they see it, they know what materials to bring, they know what I had in mind. They can install it the way that I chose, and there's no surprises.
And you supervise? I mean,
And
do you check the work?
Yes, I come out and look at the home, check on it while they're doing it, make sure the homeowner's happy with everything, and I make sure the guys are doing it the way that I had planned. And
Is there? Are you certified for this sort of thing?
so I am ALMA certified, and I went through training to receive that, and that's where all the best architects in the United States got together and decided that this is the minimum requirement of the way things have to be done. So I know all those steps. And
Do we do the minimum, or do you think we exceed the minimum?
we exceed. We actually always do the minimum, but every house is a little different, and we go above and beyond, and we do it the very best way that we can, and that almost every time exceeds quite a bit the minimum requirement of the way to install.
So you don't have callbacks, you don't have failures, you don't have unhappy customers.
We don't. We do our best to get it done right the first time, and if people have a concern, they can talk to us right then while we're on the project, and we can discuss it. And sometimes people have watched a YouTube video and question the way we do things and say, wouldn't this be better? And I explain why it wouldn't be better. But we could do it.
Because every house is a little different.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
everybody knows that. Okay. Thanks, Jeremy. All right. Jeff Ludy here, Houston Window Experts, on the scene with Jeremy, getting our exact measurements, doing our very best to make this job, another great successful project by Houston Window Experts. Please give us a call. Let us know if we can help you. HoustonWindowExperts.com or dial 832-900-7024. Thanks, Jeremy.